Oh, I love this. I like that alarm. It's cool. Who are you gonna have a meeting with?
It's on right now. It's recording. Do you hear me? So that works. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Hi, can you guys hear me?
I might be able to now.
Okay, I can hear you now.
There we go. I had to click something. Okay.
The other Carolyn, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay. She just went away. I don't know what happened. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good.
It's 9 p.m. over here, and my kids are both asleep, so I'm actually getting stuff done for once. So.
Oh, okay. There she is.
I think I got it now.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so I have both of you this time. That's good. So I have one goal achievement sheet filled out. I haven't
done mine.
A, I don't have one from you.
I haven't done mine yet.
Okay. All right. So how was your week?
Well, it's a little hectic. My whole family's been sick. So,
oh, okay.
Like really sick. Everyone's okay, but like we haven't been out of the house very much. So I've just been trying to do little things like meal prepping and just even walking the dog has kind of been a fight this week, but everyone's better now. So I'm sitting here before I called in. I'm sitting here writing out my schedule for tomorrow. So
well, that's good.
determined to have a better week this week.
All
I don't want to do that again. It was rough.
Yeah. Well, you can't plan for everybody being sick. So
yeah,
you can just make it happen and do what you can. And then Carolyn W. It's so funny. How was your week?
It was okay. The first week of school is never that hard. I mean, I have a little bit to do today, but overall, fairly productive week, I suppose.
Yeah.
I did go out a couple times, and that threw me off for like I went out Friday night to a concert, and so all of yesterday was shot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was reading your sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the questions that says, were you stressed or overwhelmed? And how many times did you implement some of the new techniques to get through those situations? And your answer was probably. I was like, oh, okay.
How many times? I thought it said, did you? I may not have read the question.
Oh.
As well as I should have to answer it. I thought it said, did you implement the techniques? I'm like, probably.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, so just remember that when I send out these sheets, I know that it adds something else for you to do, but just remember that this is what I use to help you.
Yeah.
So if you're not reading through the questions or just answering it real fast and just not, it's also to get you to think about and kind of reflect. You know, like,
Mhm.
okay, maybe I did this, but maybe I shouldn't do that next time, or, you know, and just to kind of get you to think, because I'm going to, you know, give you all the tools that I can, but if you're not implementing it and taking action on it, then there's really nothing else I can do. So it's more to get everybody just to kind of think and, you know, just make you aware, because if we're not aware of what we're doing, then we're never going to be able to change it. Does that make sense?
Sure, but like for instance, if I get stressed, what tools are you, like, I guess what tools are you specifically referring to that I should have implemented?
So you filled out the stress worksheet a while back, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Do you ever refer to that at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So there was some tools on there, you know,
Okay.
like even with the other Carolyn, we talked about kind of just taking a step back, taking a breath, and just thinking about, okay, how can I tackle this without
Mm.
allowing myself to get completely overwhelmed? Because we humans, we react. And I don't know if you guys got to read the blog that I did recently, but it was basically talking about being reactive versus being proactive. And it's stuff that I had to, you know, really realize within myself as well, that, you know, we are going to normally be reactive. That's just, it's in our nature.
Mhm.
So the more that, you know, we try to plan ahead and, you know, we schedule and we do as much as we can, that's going to allow us to be more proactive and kind of get rid of some of those stressors. But then when life happens, which it's going to, right? The other Carolyn, she just said her whole family was sick. I'm pretty sure she didn't plan for that. I don't write that down in my schedule, that's for sure. Like, so, you know, you really just have to kind of take that step back and, you know, take a deep breath and just be like, okay, this is not something that I have control over. However, I do have control over how I tackle it. You know, so
Mm.
you just have to learn how to show up for yourself. You know, you're not gonna be able to help everybody else until you're able to show up for yourself. So hopefully she was able to do that a little bit and kind of figure out, as moms, usually we just kind of go with the flow, but I know I've learned too that doesn't always work out in my favor. So I have to do the same thing, and I do it all the time. You know, when Jazzy gives me a hard time, I just kind of step back, take a deep breath, and kind of go from there, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. So that's just a key technique that I would say if you haven't implemented, then you might want
I
to
mean,
try.
I guess I do that kind of automatically. I mean, I'm never going to like just run face forward into like a situation. You know, I'm going to stop and analyze it and then proceed forward with the best course of action.
Well, that's good. A lot of people don't, and I didn't do that either. So that's good if you are able to do that. If that's something that you do on a normal basis, that's already a good thing. You said that you want to incorporate a new goal. So what would your new goal be?
I don't know. I don't know. I just think that I've stayed almost, like I got most of my days in as far as workouts and meals go. And that's been kind of, I guess, the goal for the last 2 weeks. So I'm not sure.
Well, you can't tackle a goal if you don't know what your goal is.
I know. I haven't thought of it yet.
All right. Well, I was reading through your questionnaire, and this is something that I kind of want to put out to both of you. And it's something that I've had to work on as well. And it's about trying to fit in. A lot of the stuff that I read, and sometimes we just want to fit in with everybody else, and we're kind of fearful of going against the grain due to what people are going to think about us. And this is something that I deal with on a daily basis, actually, just because I'm always going against the grain these days. But I'll give you an example. So yesterday we were at the pool, and we had a lot of the people in the community were out there, and I kind of usually just stay to myself. I don't really go out and about too much, but I am a people person, so I do like to hang out sometimes. And I have a kid who loves the pool, so we decided, I was like, all right, let's just go over to the pool. So one guy, he was over there, and he had already told us that he was going to be doing like hamburgers and hot dogs and all this stuff for the kids, and that was really cool. You know, I thought that was pretty nice of him. So, I came over there. We came over there, and he was really adamant about trying to shove the hot dogs and hamburgers in my face. And I just kept saying, no, thank you. I just really, I don't enjoy those foods anymore. I didn't say that, but in my mind, I'm like, that's just not what I like to eat anymore. I've gotten to that point in my life. Now I will eat a hamburger every now and then, I don't really eat hot dogs anymore, but it was just the simple fact that I had already eaten a lot that whole morning. Like, I was very active in the morning. Jazzy had a whole bunch of stuff going on. And so I had already tracked my foods for the day, and I already knew what I wanted to eat after. So, I didn't involve hot dogs and hamburgers into what I was eating for that day. So I made a choice. I could have just said, okay, I'll give in, and then I probably would have regretted it later. Either my stomach would have been mad at me, or I would have been mad at me. And then that would have been even more, now I'm like, oh crap. And then you got that downward spiral. But anyway, so I kept saying that, and he did make a comment. He was like, you're already so skinny, a hamburger or hot dog's not going to kill you. And I was just like, I just kind of laughed it off. And I was just like, well, thank you. Yeah, I really don't like it when people call me skinny, because this is a lot of hard work involved. Like, skinny people don't have to work hard. They're just skinny. But I was just like, thank you. I'm in a better place now, so I don't really let things get to me anymore. But I was just like, thank you. And I was like, my daughter will probably eat some. And then he was trying to shove strawberry shortcake in my face. And then later on, he came with like these, I don't know. He had kebab sticks, but he came with some, it was like adult beverages. He was saying like some coolers, whatever I don't even remember. But I quit drinking a couple of years ago, and that was a personal choice. Drinking never did anything good for me. So I made that choice within myself to just stop drinking. I was a social drinker, and when I drank, I would drink too much. It never did anything good for me. And also, I have a child who is looking at me, and I don't want to be a bad role model. I grew up in that environment, and I don't want to show her anything like that. So anyway, so then I was like, well, no, thank you, because he offered me that, and I was like, no, thank you. And I'm being nice the whole entire time, and he was like, gosh, you don't drink either. And it really, initially, I was just like, wow. Yeah, and it makes me kind of laugh inside, though, because people don't know your backstory. They don't know anything about you. They just judge you off of what they see right now. And I get this all the time. So I have to make a decision within myself all the time to not worry about what they think of me, because I know that the journey I'm on is the most important journey in my life. And if I continue to just try to fit in with everybody else, I'm not going to be happy within myself.
Yeah.
So that's something that I would like for you both to kind of take with you. Take it for what it's worth, and kind of think about in your lives, how often are you doing things to just fit in or make other people happy? And is that choice making you happy? And just kind of think about that when you kind of progress throughout the week or whatever. We're all social people, and we all like to be around other people. But I know me personally, I would rather be around people who are supporting me than people who are judging me and putting me down for the choices that I make, So, think about that. Think about the people that you have in your life. Think about, how that impacts your choices. And at the end of the day, you're the person that you have to live with every single second of the day. Right? So if you're not doing things that are putting a positive impact into your life, then is that truly making you happy?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that?
I think
Well,
that's
kind of-
probably like the one thing. If I needed to hear one thing today, that's probably it. That's
Awesome.
almost every time. Seriously, almost every time I can think of while you were talking that I've gotten off track, or just anything. Every time I've had issues, it's usually because I go somewhere with somebody, or my husband wants to go do something, and it's easier to just do it than to say, well, okay, but I'm not gonna eat, or I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? It's easier to just do it. And it's easy to also say, I'll just get back on the bus tomorrow, but that is harder than it seems.
Yeah.
That's a really good point, and it's really simple, and I already knew it, but I don't ever think like that,
Yeah.
So thank you for saying that, because
You're welcome.
that was kind of my problem the past couple of weeks. It was a big part of it.
And let me just clarify, that doesn't mean not being able to hang out with your friends and family. It just means that, and you should be able to go out and you should be able to enjoy that time with them. But at the same time, you also want to remember what makes you happy, what is going to make you happy, the goals that you're working for. And just allow, if those people are truly supportive of you, and they should be, especially your family, if those people are truly supportive of you, they are going to understand your journey. They're going to understand why you make certain choices. And, while it might be a little bit uncomfortable for them at first, they should eventually be able to open up to the idea, like, okay, she's on a mission. And that's kind of what happened with me. People finally just started realizing, even my husband, like he wasn't going to be able to say anything or do anything that was going to change my mind, because once I put myself on a path, I'm going to continue that path, but I'm not going to, I still make sure I love my daughter and I cherish her and I do things with her, and I love my husband and I do things with him. And, but they had to get to the point where they understood the journey that I was on too. So, what about you, Carolyn, in Texas?
Well, I don't think anyone faults me for doing things. I mean, I do them of my own accord. Like, I went to a country concert and I wanted to drink. And, if I have more than two, I feel like crap the next day. But that's something I already know. But it's just, I like to have social adult beverages. And it's just like, I know it's going to unpay the consequences the next day, but I don't know, it's part of the fun for me. I mean, I don't know. And I know you shouldn't drink, you shouldn't have to drink to have fun. And that's not what I'm saying. I would have had fun regardless, but I don't know exactly how to explain that without sounding like an alcoholic, but.
You're so funny. You don't sound like an alcoholic. I used to do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, but for me, it became more important for me to be able to use that next day, because I was the same way, where it was like, okay, sure, I'll go out and have fun or whatever, but, and I guess it's a little bit different when you're a parent too, because, I couldn't show up for my daughter the next day. I couldn't show up for anyone the next day, including myself. And I guess that was more of an impact, to where I finally got to the point where I was like, okay, I know me personally, the reason I quit is because I'm an all or none. I go big, or I either don't do it or I go too hard. And I know that. So I chose, it was a personal choice, like I said. I chose to say, you know what, I don't need this in my life. And that was just me. Now I know plenty of people, my husband's one of them, where he can have a couple beers and be just fine.
Yeah.
And, if that's something that serves a purpose for him and makes him happy, then who am I to judge that? I don't try to change anybody else. I'm not here to change anyone. The only thing that I'm here to do is provide tools that will allow you and you know, this may be a few years from now where you get kind of like an aha moment, like, oh my gosh, I remember when Jodi said like 3 years, and I actually just got an email or a text about that the other day. You know, someone that I worked with almost 3 years ago, and she's just now finally implementing everything. And, you know, she was like, I've lost 20 pounds. And I'm like, I'm so proud of you, you know? And so it's, like I said, it's a personal choice, and some people don't want to make certain choices, and that's, you know, I do not, like I said, I do not judge anyone. My choices are the choices that I made because I know that I need to.
Yeah.
I just want you to look at it and, you know, kind of evaluate the situation where, you know, you should be able to have fun and you should be able to go out and stuff like that. But what is the impact of that next day, losing that whole entire next day?
I didn't completely lose it. I mean, I was still, I got up and I was active, and I participated in my sister's field events. Like she, but you know, I definitely didn't eat much yesterday because when I didn't do any like heavy PT, you know what I mean? Like I was still up and active, but it was just, I just did not eat what I would normally eat. And I didn't do anything like as far as weightlifting or real hard cardio or anything like that. So, you know what I mean? I wasn't like completely like totally out of it, but it definitely threw me off my like nutritional diet. So I'll say that, you know, and then I didn't really like calculate the drinks into my macros and save any. So I know I went over on Friday night because of it. I don't know. It's that. I guess it's the combination is like I would have gone over on Friday, and then Saturday I didn't really track my macros because I really didn't do much. You know, I really didn't eat much. So anyways.
Well, you can't do anything about what happened Friday and Saturday.
I know, but I'm just saying, like.
And I mean, if the fun that you had outweighed the not being able to eat and stuff like that, then go for it. I will never take that away from you. I would never take that away from you, because please believe I used to do the same thing. But if it comes to the point where the fun no longer outweighs your productivity level, like, okay, you said you were in your first week of school and that was easy. What if you had been in like your, I don't know, 4th week where it's a little bit harder and you lost half a day, even half a day? You know, how would that have impacted? So I would just say, you know, as you continue, especially with school and stuff like that, just kind of think about, you know, before you make the choices to do certain things, just kind of think about how that's going to impact your future.
And I do, and I kind of plan that into it. It's like, I already knew that I would be fine for this weekend as far as school goes and things like that. Like, I kind of do already, like, when I know I'm going to go out and do stuff like that, I kind of already factor in the ramifications of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I would not have.
It anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have done, you know, I probably wouldn't have had as much if I'd known that I had to come home and write a paper or something.
Okay.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, Diana? I wouldn't have done so much.
All
so I kind of already, but like I said, I've been reading more about like how even just a day of like being off your macros throws off the efforts of the entire week, and I don't know.
Well, but you don't want to get down about that now, because there's nothing, you can't take back that.
Yeah.
So the only thing you can do now is just kind of allow that to maybe help you make better choices in the future. So, and I mean, as far as missing one day, now is that going to keep you from your goals? No. Is it going to completely hinder your goals? No. Is it going to mentally mess you up because now you wish you could take back that day? Yes, it can. So at the end of it, you would rather, I would say, kind of press forward instead of, whatever you do, don't be like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that, because there's nothing you can do about that.
Right.
Just,
Well, I mean,
make
but
sure you think about all those things beforehand.
yeah, I mean, but like how not eating according to schedule or whatever for one day really, like, does it actually
You said
have that much?
according to schedule?
Well, according to what you've scheduled out, like according to your macros, not eating one day in accordance with what you're supposed to or whatever. Is it really that detrimental, I guess?
Well, you have that plus or minus 20%, right? I tell everybody
Yeah,
you
sure.
have you have a window. So, yeah, one day, is that going to impact? No. Usually what happens though is people get off that one day and then they're like, oh, well, I already messed up once. Now I can, okay, well, now I got 2 days. Oh, well, I already threw that in the bag. Like, oh, well, now I got 3 days. And usually it becomes a downward spiral. So really the biggest part is you want to make sure that you catch that before it becomes an issue.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
Carolyn and Oki, you got anything else that you need us to talk about?
I don't think so. This is a perfect start to my week.
Okay. Good. Maybe we should keep it on Sundays, I guess.
Not a bad time for me.
Well, I thought I was going to have someone else, and he wasn't Oki. And he was saying that was going to be really late because he was getting up early in the morning. And I know that would be really late for me if I was on in that time zone. But he ended up not going through with it. So it's just you guys still. And I have Sybil, but she's currently flying all over the place. She's a flight attendant in the Air Force. So yeah, she's all over the place. I've actually known her for 14 years now. We played basketball in Mildenhall, which was in England. So I've known her for a really long time. But I know eventually, I'm not going to be able to please everybody with the time zones, but that's why I wanted to record the videos, so that way if people need to come back and watch them later, hopefully they'll still get something out of it. So did you get to watch the one from last week?
No, where is it? How do I find it?
Okay, I'll have to send you the link again. Okay. Yeah.
You might have already. I'll go back and look.
Okay.
I may have missed it.
Yeah, I thought I did, but if not, I won't be able to do it this morning because we have to head out. Well, we have to get ready to go after this, but I'll definitely look at it. Yeah, just shoot me an email and let me know if it's not in there, and then I'll be able to send you the link again if not. So, but yeah, definitely let me know if it still helps, because that way, for the future, I can know if somebody's looking at it after the fact. I mean, of course, I want everybody to be on here for the live call, but I still want to know if somebody's looking at it after the fact, if that's still going to be beneficial. So hopefully it will be. But,
Okay. I will.
And as far as having the plan, I know you said you started one, and then Carolyn W, you said you still haven't started one yet.
Not yet. Not for this week.
Do you know why?
No. Yeah, I mean, I guess I feel like most of the time my work schedule is just so set and everything else just kind of happens around my work schedule. You know what I mean? Like,
okay. So what does that mean?
So for instance, like I'm at work by 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I work until my work is done. And then, I come home, and I do some schoolwork or another workout. If I wasn't able to get my workout in the morning, then I'll do it at night. And if I wasn't able to get, then I'll work, like I said, I'll work on my homework afterwards. So I guess I just have like a daily battle rhythm that doesn't fluctuate as much as other people who have other people to worry about.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
If that's working for you and that's okay for you, I just don't want you to get to the point where you were last time, where it was, you had a paper that you ended up having to write at the last minute because you weren't able to work on it and because you got sent TDY at the last minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those are things you're not going to be able to work around. So that's why.
True.
you know, so that's why, remember we talked about that, where it was like, you know, if you can just schedule out about 20 minutes or so.
I guess I'm kind of working more daily on my homework and not saving it all for the weekend.
Yeah.
So
just the reason I say write it out though is because then you can see what you're doing.
yeah.
If you're just doing it, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm not doing any. You're like, this isn't even helping me, and you're not gonna continue it. But if you can actually write it down and be like, oh, I did, you know, and maybe Carolyn A is seeing this too. I know me personally, when I write down everything and I'm able to check it off, I feel so good afterward because I'm like, wow, I got a lot more accomplished than I thought I did.
So I guess that doesn't make me feel very accomplished simply, you know, writing out a schedule and adhering to it. You know what I mean? Like for me, like I have a couple of like big due outs that getting those done make me feel more accomplished. Like last week I finally submitted my fit rep. And like I did a bunch of other people's stuff. But this week, you know, I need to like work on like getting my car inspected, renewing my driver's license. I guess those things are the ones that like the big outliers that I have to like carve out time for to make sure I get done. You know what I mean? So like that makes me feel more accomplished getting things like that done than it does simply adhering to a schedule.
Okay. Whatever works for you. I mean, what works for me isn't going to work for everybody else. I just provide information.
Right. Sure.
All right. Well, we're going to have to cut this, but I just want to know, like, for each of you, what's your biggest takeaway from this week, from this call?
For me, I think the bit about fitting in was important. That was a big one for me. Is I don't have to do anything for anyone else because, you know, I can choose what's right for me, and that's okay.
Well, you have to choose that. If you don't choose it, nobody's going to choose it for you, or maybe they will, but then you might not. You might be unhappy. So I would say if you have the choice, go ahead and do it for yourself.
It's nice to hear someone else point that out. You know, it's really easy to just pretend like it's okay to keep doing things the way they are.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. What about you, Carolyn, in Texas?
I think honestly, I really do need to start weighing the I guess the consequences of my actions a little bit harder. Yeah, maybe cut back a little bit. So I already want to go out Thursday for a concert, and I might go Saturday for some events. But just because I go doesn't mean I have to like enjoy my adult beverages as much. I don't know. It's just, anyways. Yeah.
Whatever is going to make you happiest, but just remember the outcome for the next day.
Yeah.
Because you have to be happy. You don't want to be miserable either.
Yeah.
But
no.
You know, is the next day is what occurs the next day going to make you miserable or happy? So, you know, just think about that too, and kind of weigh it out that way.
True.
All right, you guys. Do you have any questions or anything?
Not me.
No. Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Carolyn, you good? Other Carolyn?
Yeah.
Both Carolyn. All right.
I'm good.
We're good.
All right, you guys. Well, you know, I'm here if you need anything. You can always reach out. You got my email. You got my phone number. You got Trainer Eyes, whatever you need. And, you know, just reach out if you have any questions or anything like that. Because even though we do these, I mean, I'm still here during the week too. So just remember that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right, you guys. Well, have a great night, day.
Okay.
And crush it this week, you know?
All right.
See y'all next week.
All right. I will talk to you guys later.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
I don't know how to turn it off. Oh, there we go.